horrified, mutated denizens of the warp, and of course, glorious servants of the God Emperor of mankind, we are here once more with our noble commander, officer, Laurillar, on her journey to the bridge of the rogue trader ship in an attempt to stop the mutiny. The roar of the flames rings in your ears, and the choking smoke makes you cough and gasp for air. You instinctively recoil from the scorching heat, wiping your face. A moment later, a hazy silhouette forms in the raging wall of fire. You are surrounded by ear-splitting noise and screaming, yet you distinctly hear the sound of footsteps, and then you see the figure walk out of the fire towards you. It is Theodora von Valentius. Her expression is calm, terrifyingly so for someone whose body is engulfed in an inferno. One of her hands is resting on the hilt of her power sword. The other is raised in an inviting gesture. Are you lost, my heir? Argenta goes still as a statue, slowly raises her weapon. An apparition. A sorceress apparition. Trickery of the warp. Sister, you will lower your weapon. Despite his commanding tone, Abelard does not sound too confident. He is staring at the rogue trader, and you notice a muscle in his cheek twitching. Threatening the Lord Captain is outrageous. This is impossible. I doubt you are aware of the limits of what is possible, Laurillar, for your worldview is but an iota of what a rogue trader knows and sees. But I can tell that you would like me to share that knowledge with you. That power over reality. Theodora watches you without blinking. Her snake-like gaze almost makes you forget about the fire searing you, leaving burns on your skin. I can lead you out of these flames, Laurillar. Show you a path, rid you of pain, and give you a weapon so that you may defeat your enemies. Decide. Do not listen to this abomination, Laurillar. If there is naught but his light in your heart, if you are resolute in your faith, then step into the flames. The Emperor protects. His faithful will not be deterred by either darkness or deceitful promises, nor will fire burn those who carry the torch of faith in their soul. To the void with you. We need to follow Lady Theodora before we suffocate in this furnace. The people. Abelard looks back at the coughing, confused people around you. Laurillar, the survivors from the middle decks. We must help the crew. Lead them out. Find a way around. Over the roaring flames, you hear distant sounds, frightened voices, screams. Over the roaring flames, you hear distant sounds, frightened voices, screams, muffled and distorted, as if there were a body of water between you and them. Then we'll miss our chance to meet up with Adira breaks off and starts coughing violently. Her knees buckle, and she looks like she's about to fall. Laurillar, what are we waiting for? Walk through the fire? The Emperor will guide the righteous on their path. I mean, I am a faithful adherent to the imperial cult because I am, of course, pure imperial blood. I don't care about saving people. I will not leave my people in harm's way. That's not me. I mean, if it was really important, I might save them, and I'm definitely not a heretic. The Emperor will guide the righteous on their path. Yes, we are going to be dogmatic. I'm not sure that we're going to stick with dogmatic all the time, because we're going to go by what we actually think the words mean to us, but still. You take a step forward, the illusion breaks, a wave of excruciating pain crashes over you, and Theodora's voice fades into the firestorm. You hear the voices of your companions calling from behind, and the screams of the weak dying in the inescapable blaze. Oh, I'm gonna have to take Emperor Protect pretty literally right now, because that flame looks very hot. The blinding inferno, the harrowing pyre, the all-consuming storm releases you. As you step out, barely able to stay on your feet, the blood is pouring from your ears, drowning out the world around you. Your eyes, caked in soot and burnt eyelashes, refuse to open. Free from the flames, you take 2 more steps before collapsing to your knees. The rush of blood in your temples and the horrible pain all over your scorched body cloud your mind, before suddenly retreating as if driven away by some mighty will. A new strength spreads throughout your veins, and despite the wounds, your body is once more ready for trials and struggle. You open your eyes and see aglow with warm light the aquila, the sacred symbol of the Imperium.
Mistress, can you hear me?
A familiar voice cuts through the din and pounding. Seneschal Abelard Werasan is leaning over you, peering into your face with a look of worry. He notices your gaze and breathes a sigh of relief.
Oh, you're alive. Which is more than I was expecting after what you just did.
Praise the Emperor!
Argenta kneels next to you, and for the first time you see her eyes radiate pure, unclouded joy.
We passed through the flames! How can this be anything but a portent? For so it is said that the Emperor will bless the worthiest and most steadfast in their faith.
Behind Argenta you see Idara Talas, doubled over in a fit of nausea. The rest of the people who were following you have withered away in the fire that continues to rage mere 2 steps away from you. The Emperor protects Seneschal.
Indeed he does.
Your tone renders Abelard motionless, then he quickly makes the holy sign of the Aquila himself.
Oh, if I hadn't seen it myself, I never would have believed.
Idira wipes her mouth and rasps.
What happened to Lady Theodora? Did she follow us?
There was no Theodora, witch. There was an illusion, a temptation.
Argenta is staring straight ahead, then crosses her arms over her chest with reverence.
Foul taint that tried to lead us astray, but she perceived its true nature.
Is that right, Adepta Sanctimonious? What, we'll just pretend like we didn't see the Lord Captain standing there in the fire? Abelard, you tell her!
Whatever it was, it matters no longer.
Abelard sighs.
Your conduct is bordering on madness, or holiness. A path opened behind you, where one moment there was fire, the next only smoldering embers remain. But what am I saying? My eyes must have deceived me. Too much smoke for my lungs. Truly, would you have received wounds like these if there had been no fire?
The wounds are merely a sign of a trial laudably passed. It is something to be proud of, the same as decorations or badges of honor.
Argenta herself sounds proud, even fervid. I feel fine. Even if you were anticipating another wave of pain, it does not come. Your muscles feel strong and your limbs obey you without fail. And yet, deep inside, somewhere next to your heart and stomach, you feel a certain tension akin to that of a taut string. You are at your limit. Be it adrenaline or strength of your faith, it will not carry you much further. Ethelfrad von Valencia stares at you without trying to hide his astonishment and trepidation. Laurillar, do my eyes deceive me? I could swear that I just witnessed you step out of a pillar of fire with the rest following in your wake. It was the only way. We are here in response to your vox call. I did not expect that you would make it here in time. After all, the mutiny caught the entire crew off guard. They were scattered all over the ship. I must say, your wounds. Gonna look at him closely. Ethelfrad does not seem to have changed since you first met, but only at a first glance. His face has taken a strange hue. The skin at his temples appears scaled, and his voice now has an uncanny screeching quality. Those are not traces of fatigue and stress. The Psyker's body has begun to mutate, a consequence of contact with the warp. You're not in the best shape yourself, Ethelfrad. The Psyker grins back at you. Noticed the signs of my blessing, have you, Laurillar? Yes, the warp is taking its toll, but I'm still sane and able to hold my weapon. I'll fight for the Von Valencius bloodline to the end, and if the price is the eternal curse of mutation, so be it. I can fight, at least for the time being. Adelthrad nods, satisfied with your answer. Then let us steal our souls. Our greatest trial awaits. That guy is not so bad. His dedication to the Emperor and his willingness to sacrifice his purity and his future for the good of the rogue trader and thus for the Empire, I can get behind that for other people. Like, not for me. I walked through the fire because I was confident that I could walk through fire. That's the thing. But if I thought the fire was going to kill me, I wouldn't walk through it for anyone. That's just... I have gathered everyone who answered the Vox call and was able to hold a weapon, yet I do not see the Lord Captain or her arch-militant in our midst. We are still receiving messages in her voice, but she is not responding to direct requests. I last saw Lady Theodora on the observation platform. Where did she and you part ways? It was in this very elevator, Master Adelthrad. The Lord Captain, accompanied by the Arch-Militant, headed to her chambers to retrieve an item of particular import. After that, all we heard from her were Vox broadcasts. This is troubling. The timing is inopportune. I'm still receiving fragmentary reports from the bridge. Conrad Voigtveer was spotted there, and even what scant intelligence on his activities I have reminds me of the description of sorcerous rituals. If that traitor has resorted to witchcraft, we must stop him at once. I shall go to Theodora's chamber and find her. Adelthrad nods. A reasonable approach. Take your escort with you. You may be waylaid. Once you've found the Lord Captain, you must beg her to go to the bridge and lead the counterattack. The rogue trader's appearance is sure to fill the defenders' hearts with hope, however frightened or exhausted they may be. Until we next meet, Laurillar, may the Emperor bless your deeds. I shall see you on the field of battle. Adelthrad salutes you with his weapon and turns to his retinue. Yeah, that guy turned out to be less of a whining simp than I thought he would, which is good for him. I mean,
is there money to be made?
He might even be a reliable retainer someday if he doesn't turn into a warp mutant and kill everyone, which, I gotta be honest, is my vote right now.
Attention to detail is the key to success.
Alright, so you're gonna open that for us, are you? And we're gonna take this stuff here. Our stuff now. Probably belongs to the lady.
We should deal with this.
We might have to return it to her later. What is this? Is this some guy's gun? Well, we'll collect that. And we are going to her chambers. All right. I think we're doing all right. I think we are doing all right. Yeah, I really thought that guy was a bit of a, I don't know, a waste of blood. Pathetic. But he's doing all right for a man who's losing his mind to the warp and his body as well. You know, that's something to be highly suspicious of, and also to want to destroy once the obviously essential service to the Emperor is completed. His execution will be swift.
I always have a backup plan.
And as painless as we can make happen, I think. You can't have a heretic like that just alive. I mean, he's not technically a heretic, I suppose.
Keep my options open.
He is a traitor, apostate, mutant. These are all bad words that could apply to him. When his mind betrays him to the warp, he will betray the Emperor and the Imperium, as is always the case. And if he is going to do that inevitably, it is Well, it is fair to say that he has effectively already done so now. So, Lady Theodora has been murdered. Or shot, or died in combat, I guess? I don't know. Let's examine it. The murder... nope. We didn't get to read that. We didn't get to read that. We may read it after then. Theodora von Valencius's body is sprawled on the large blood-drenched desk. The arch-militant's corpse, still clutching a weapon, is slumped against one of the bulkheads. The Sister of Battle surveys the scene, her gaze lingering on the arch-militant's body.
Emperor, accept thy faithful souls.
No!
Idira's heart-rending scream shakes the walls. She collapses to her knees, her body shuddering as she weeps.
Lord Captain, I didn't hear a thing. Not a whisper, not a breath. It was so loud. Why didn't I foresee this?
Abelard, stunned, takes a few steps forward and leans heavily on the edge of the desk. His eyes are locked on Theodora's body.
Lord Captain, who would even dare? Unless that rat, Voidsphere.
Almost certainly, he loathed Theodora. Abelard runs his hand over his face.
First, betrayal. Now, the murder of the rogue trader. And Mort. How could Mort have failed her so terribly? The Arch-Militant was born on a death world. He had lightning-fast reflexes.
Idira sobs and gets up. She glances around, looking lost.
I can look at things in my own way. If you find something that might bear the imprint of the killer, just give it to me, and I'll try to see what secrets it holds.
Examine Theodora's body. Let's do the Arch-Militant first. An auto pistol shot went straight through Mort's forehead, spraying the floor and the furniture around with blood, brain matter, and shards of his skull. The safety on the Arch-Militant's weapon is off. The killer must have been a split second quicker than he. Well, live by the sword, die by the sword. That's what they say. You know, that pseudo-philosophical sword saying. Mostly said by edgy people. So everyone in the 40k universe. You lean closer to the body. The cause of death is apparent. What ended the rogue trader's life was an auto pistol shot, an extraordinarily accurate one at that. Theodora's face bears an expression of surprise, the last emotion she experienced in life. Something on the floor catches your eye, a heap of blood, spattered parchment, and scrolls that must have fallen off the desk. As you lean down for a closer look, you notice something else. Small glass shards scattered on the floor. I don't know. She said objects, and I don't think corpses count as objects. Let's see what Idira has to say. Idira, would you try touching Theodora? You might be able to see the killer through her eyes.
It doesn't work like that. I can try to read the memories of objects, but dead bodies are a different story. Something like that would require her soul. And after what we saw on the officer's deck, I won't risk searching for it in the warp.
Inspect the shards by the desk. It is difficult to say what exactly was broken. The object fell on the floor, and that is as much as you can ascertain. Upon closer examination, the shards appear iridescent rather than completely transparent, as if they had been submerged in promethium. Idira, what do these shards tell you? Idira scoops up a handful of shards and clutches them in her fist with such strength that blood starts dripping on the floor.
I see Streaks of color, luminescence, blue lights, faces, drawing closer. Lady Theodora, and Conrad, and what is that? Ah!
She shakes her hand, looking frightened.
Something dark, enormous. Oh, this glass thing was something foul, that's for sure.
Tainted witchcraft.
You cannot tell if Argenta's remark is directed at the glass shards or Idira herself. Inspect the papers. Reports, accounts, dispatches. You go over the scrolls until you stumble upon a document that is starkly different from the rest. It is a handwritten letter signed with the initials X.C. and a seal with a symbol that is vaguely familiar to you. And sends a shiver down your spine. The author of this letter, addressed to Theodora von Valentius, signed it with the seal of one of the holy ordos of the Emperor's Inquisition, the secret police of the Imperium that relentlessly hunts heretics, Xenos, and other enemies of humanity. We had best be on our way.
Yes, the crucible of battle calls to me once more.
No, wait! We must see if we can find anything.
Idira,
Abelard lays a hand on her shoulder.
you can't bring her back. Let her go.
You'd give up so easily, old man? I expected as much from the sister. It's not like she has a heart. But you? Oh no. I'll get to the bottom of this. I'll find the one responsible for murdering the Lord Captain. And when I do...
Idira clenches her fist.
that scum will regret the day they were born.
Let's just take a quick look around this place before we give up on it. Let's see if we can read this now. The murder scene looks like something caught the victims by surprise. No one had time to react to what was happening. Right. Okay, this is some kind of rosary. Collect that. Nothing else over here. Ooh, is there anything in the safe? Of course, we're gonna go the long way. A fellowship cloak? Oh, it gives fellowship based on the number of enemies in a 2-cell radius. That's interesting. Not sure how useful that is, but hey, we got it, right? And we're definitely gonna wear it. Let's just put those things on now. Oh, that is not me. Cloak. Necklace. Should probably hand these out. Can you use these?
Not this Greyer's job.
Yeah, you can't use them, but you can for sure use them. Anything else interesting up here? No, we're still using the best auto pistol, right? Yep. And our second weapon is the shotgun. Don't know if we're going to stick with that, but we're going to do it for now. Anything over here worth looking at? Maybe. Oh, this. We gotta read that again. A bizarre fragment hung on a trophy board. The light, smooth surface of the object is dotted with dark spots and crumbling holes. Geez, sometimes those tooltips are short. It's fine though. We'll get through it. We'll get through it. I'm willing to click a million times to read some of this cool stuff. Ah, it's a battle servitor with a heavy bolter, I think. Yep. Let's move Abelard up. I think Abelard is going to hit... no, I think we're going to have him come... It's kind of tough. Let's put him here. I want Argenta to come in from this position. Idira from here. I will move here, and we will start. Go
A
here.
tactically sound approach.
Take a single
At your
attack
beck.
against the combat servitor. Oh, I should have definitely cleaved that. I don't know what I was thinking there. That was just a straight mistake.
It will be done.
We'll cross out of the way.
I took care of this one.
Get a swing on him. And Abelard. Ooh, no, I should have defended with him. I'm going to give the extra attack this turn. Not first, though. We'll do the buffs
I'll
first.
see to it personally.
So you can have my serve me buff.
On it.
And you can have my officer voice of command. And you can
I'll
take
see
an
to
extra
it
action,
personally.
which we will use to drop a lightning bolt right here.
What an unfortunate turn of fate.
Good shot, Adira. Nice. We'll take my pot shot on this guy. See if we can hit him.
Your end was inevitable.
Nice. Puts us on Argenta. I want her to move to here. Let's see how many people we can get with a burst that doesn't hit Abelard. I guess only the back three. That's fine. Acceptable. Nice. And then we're going to run and gun her to here. And do another burst. There.
As the Emperor commands, I act.
Yeah. It's okay. Sometimes you just gotta miss. I have a feeling that if I lightning back here, I'm gonna hit poor Abelard.
There is movement in the Empyrean.
But that's a thing that happens. We'll just give him our buff.
No can do.
We don't have the best judgment, you know.
Was
There we go. That was a very effective turn, everyone. Good tactical combat. Ooh, they both dodged to the grenade shot. I think that was a grenade shot. Back him off.
I've seen worse battles than this in my time.
Then charge him.
Target well struck.
Then attack him.
I will do my best. An exemplary strike.
Great.
I'd rather not.
We can shift 3 for endure.
At your beck and
Shift
call.
1 for brace for impact. End his turn. Pop over here. I think he'll be out of range for the second attack if I don't move closer. So maybe we do actually get ourselves out of... I don't think I can get close at 1, 2, 3, 4. Can't get close enough. Alright, well, we should be able to give him our buff, though. And then I think we're going to take a shot and hope that we get a clear shot past him. Good. Not great, but good. And our sister here. Take a shot this way.
I'll do it.
Good. And Adira here will increase her damage
will do.
with analyze enemies, and then she'll do her scream.
What an unfortunate turn of fate.
There it is. Very clean combat, everyone. We're becoming quite the team. Let's do our level. Let's get that done. All right, so we're getting Finest Hour. Ally grants an ally an extra turn with full AP and MP. So this is our special attack. As for choosing talents, we're going to take the one we talked about at the very beginning that's essential to this, which is... It's not that one. Oh, it's Be Smart. I don't know why I thought that the name was like Intelligence or something. Had Intelligence or something. It's Be Smart. So we're going to be smart. This is has two really good benefits for the type of build we're doing, where we're doing an intelligent officer build. It gives us the ability to use intelligence instead of fellowship for fellowship things, like our abilities and our talents. It also lets you raise your intelligence even when it's not normal for your class to be able to do so. So we'll do that, and that should be good. Now let's get through here. We need to grab something for our man here. I think we're going to take Epicenter of Slaughter as his first ability here. For Adira, we're going to take... I think we're going to take something Psyker related with her. We have unnatural luck. Predicted downfall. All allies under the effect of at least one psychic power gain an additional... So this is good. I'm going to take Fatebringer for her. Because we put her buff on a lot of people, and it turns her buff into a partial combat benefit. Instead of just being defensive, which I like. And as for the sister, we shall give her, I think, Rack and Ruin. I think, yes. This is damage to 3 different enemies, which is really good if you're getting good bursts in, which is what we want to do with her as much as possible. So we'll complete that. There is our leveling. Let's head through the door and go back to the bridge. Or I should say to the bridge, because I don't think we've ever been to the bridge before. All right.
Keep your wits about you.
This is a ruin.
The first sacrifice opens the eye. The second sacrifice draws its gaze.
Ethelthrad looks somewhat harrowed, but is still in one piece. He glances at you, then over your shoulder, clearly alarmed. Laurillar, you're here, but where is the Lord Captain? Theodora von Valentius is dead. I found her and the arch-militant in her study. Ethelthrad's eyes widen. God, Emperor, preserve us. The rogue traitor is dead. The ship has lost her Lord Captain, and the house its head. Ethelthrad shudders and grabs his shoulder. As you watch, the sleeve of his jacket bursts open and 2 bone growths appear through the fabric. No matter what ritual Kunrad is performing there, the warp is too strong. I cannot withstand it. I feel my body changing with every second, the warp ringing in the air. This is the end. We will perish in the warp, along with the warrant and all the dynasty's heirs. The enemy of humanity has triumphed. Idera looks anxiously at Ethelthrad, and then she glances back at you. I've seen it before. We'd better get away from him. The changes are already accelerating. I forbid the very thought of yielding. Only by resigning to your fate will you truly suffer defeat. Nah, that's too almost inspirational for me. I don't think that's me. The ship, oh yeah, the logical answer. The ship can still be steered out of the warp. We must first rescue communication between the bridge and the navigator's sanctum. Not rescue, restore. We must first restore communications. Ethelthrad stares at you, his eyes harden with cold resolve once more. Then we have no right to bow our heads. Oh, that's too bad. I feel like this person changed, though. Could be an illusion. You can see Kunrad Votvir clearly in the gloom of the bridge. His broken blade, the broken blade he is holding, is stained with dark drops that seem to have a pearlescent glimmer to them. Ethelthrad. We are out of time. Ethelthrad bites his knuckle, desperately thinking. You see a wave ripple across the whites of Ethelthrad's eyes, and they begin to turn a sickly yellow. Voitvir, you duplicitous cur! The rogue traitor's death will be avenged! What? Theodora is dead? Voitvir stares at you in seemingly genuine bewilderment. No. That cannot be. Not now. I still haven't... Ethelthrad lowers his head, then he sighs and locks eyes with you, his gaze cold, haughty, and fanatical. The ritual will not be completed. I'll take care of it. And you... see to it the void ship breaks free from the warp. Watch over our realm, and... farewell. Ethelthrad, don't!
Your ritual won't be finished, heretic!
I think his ritual is finished. I think maybe this was his ritual. He is now a chaos spawn. That is quite a bit more mutation. That is quite a bit more mutation than necessary. We were expecting some small horrid mutations, not a full-on chaos spawn. I have actually fought this battle before, so we're not going to have to riddle through what we need to do. The optimal way to fight this fight is to kill all of the guys before attacking him, because he'll eat them and restore his health and do an extra attack. We want to avoid that if at all possible. So we want Abelard to try to sort of lure him aside so that we can circle around. Where is... Argenta is before the chaos spawn. That might mean it would be in our best interest to try to get her out. Like, out and past. Because we need to clear up this side. This side, it can be difficult to clear these sides up because these guys will probably try to go for cover. The shooters. So let's put Argenta like way the hell up front. Let's just put her in imminent danger. It's fine. I believe that it is fine. Adira also goes early, but we don't want to put her in that much danger because she'll die. Mind you, oh, there's this directional cover over here. Okay. Like, I'd love to get her in here, but because maybe we move him even closer so that we can move Adira to here, and I can take cover. Nope, not Adira, me. I can take cover here. I hope this is a good idea. If it's not, then we're doomed. Let's go. All right, first thing I want to do is buff. So yeah. I want to give this to Abelard. We want to give voice of command also. I think we're going to give voice of command to Argenta. And then we're going to give...
I refuse.
I thought I could reach her, but I can't.
On it.
So this is our second best choice for this. Now, what we want to do with this is we want to do things you usually can't do with her two attacks.
Rejoice in battle.
Okay, and then we want to take a shot here.
Faith without deed eradicated.
And then we want to use her special, her hurl attack, to take a full turn outside of her turn, where she can take regular shots.
That each strike is a prayer.
We're gonna revel in the slaughter. I'm gonna shoot this guy. Oh, he is... No, he's not at a range. I'm just not actually pushing the button.
Eradicated.
And then we'll try to hit this guy. And I
refuse.
think we're done. I think she's done. That was a pretty massively good turn. We only have one guy left, which Adira should easily be able to handle, so I will actually put my shot there so that Abelard will get the bonus from my
before crossing me.
From my ability. And now we're going to end our turn, and Adira is going to basically try to get down here as far as she can. She's not the first target. She will defend herself, and she will psychic scream this heretic cultist, and we've cleared the cultist in one turn. Good job. She can now expose for extra damage. Ah, what a perfect turn. That was basically the perfect turn, okay? This is too much range. That is a problem. That will hit Adira for sure. So we're gonna have to do single shots. That's fine though.
Without deeds is worthless.
Like utterly fine. We're cool with that. We're gonna then
As the Emperor commands, I act. I will
sidestep
face
a little
this
here.
battlefield in righteous fury.
Get ourselves some of our, I forget what this is called. Yeah, momentum back for the future. Take another shot.
I will not.
And that is her turn. Chaos Spawn now gets its attack. Rending Scream. Oh, I was gonna say if he knocks him down, I'll be so mad. Alright, we want to endure. Use our power. Move up to here.
My place is at the fore.
Attack. Use our breach. Attack.
At your beck and call.
Attack.
It will be done. I'm not interested.
Attack.
At your beck and call.
And then we're actually gonna
That's not the seneschal's job. Indeed.
finish our turn. Very good. About as good as that could have turned out. We're now gonna toss him.
My gut tells me
Ooh,
it's
he
a
is
bad
too
idea.
far. I'm gonna take the risk.
I'll see to it.
Give him my buff.
Who, if not
Give him
me?
the extra attack. Let him hit again. He can endure as well. And then we'll take our
I'll
shot.
make it happen.
Good. We will
Will do.
analyze. We will do our scream.
Anything else?
And we will protect Abelard.
Was that you? Or
And our turn. Take our shot. I think that's really all she's going to be able to do this turn. She is not hurt herself, but that's fine. Let's go.
I'm not
Ugh.
injured. I'm enraged.
All right. All right. Abelard, it is time for you to buff yourself and continue the attack. Nice. And give yourself a little bit of a heal.
Field medicine at its finest.
Very nice. It's my turn. That's too dangerous. I've already given an extra attack to Argenta. So we're
Don't
gonna
let
back
your
off
guard
here.
down. I'll see to
Fire
it
here.
personally.
I could use this on him to finish it now. I don't think we're gonna get to another turn of its anyway. But this is
Here's
probably
my
just
perfect moment.
overkill.
Victory is imminent. One to a target.
But it feels just secure and more safe to get it done and not play. And we all level.
Pain cleanses the body.
Is she still actually is she still in it? I guess. Let's move her out of the acid before, just, you know, out of kindness, I suppose. Kindness on my part. This lady ain't kind. Okay, available characteristics. We're gonna take intelligence. Alternatively, we could take willpower. Our intelligence is already very good. But no, we're gonna take intelligence. That's fine. That's what we want. Okay, next. And then we have a regular weapon. Now, I want to eventually use plasma and power weapons. And I really feel like just getting those as quickly as possible might be nice, just so that they're done. So we'll do that. Now for you, you get an attribute. I think for talents, I think because you're a... Yeah, you can take any kind of a talent. What does Living Shield do? That looks like a neat name. Enemies suffer a negative 10 penalty to hit their hit chance and ranged attacks against the warrior for every enemy in a 1-cell radius around the warrior. Oh, that sounds great. We're taking that. He is definitely going to be our tank, at least until we find someone better, so that's good. We're going to have him take strength because we want him to become better at athletics. Good. Now, Adira. Available characteristics. Ooh, probably intelligence. Maybe perception, actually. Yeah, let's do perception. As for this, we don't really want to... Nimble could be good. Solid projectile weapon. Now, she's never going to use weapons other than her powers. A lot of wounds. Do you want to skill train her? Her best skill is awareness. We could also raise her perception. Yeah, let's do that. And now we are going to do our sister here. She is going to take agility. Maybe she needs ballistic skill first. She needs ballistic skill first. She's going to take ballistic skill. As for her, we could take rapid reload. That's interesting, unpredictable. Fired up. Point blank. They ignore deflection when used against enemies in a 3-cell radius. See, the thing is, she doesn't use weapons that can fire that close to her. Whenever a soldier successfully dodges or uses cover against an enemy attack, they gain a guaranteed critical hit against that enemy. Oh, that's really cool. What's muzzle velocity? The first hit of each burst attack deals additional damage equal to the weapon's current rate of fire. Yes, for sure. For sure. For sure. For sure. For sure. Okay, we've got it. We've got it. Let's move on. We're done.
Rise to the top or get left in the dust.
Okay, let's do it. Let's get this communication done and save the ship.
He's dead. He sacrificed himself.
Raynor, Master Helmsman, system status report. By the Emperor, it's the Seneschal, living and breathing. The white-haired man with sickly pale skin salutes you. Well, there's a tricky question. The whole place is overgrown with foul wickedry, and we'll be scrubbing it off the vid screens for throne knows how long. How did you survive in here? Your words seem to knock the officers out of their stupor, and the air around you fills with voices and commands being issued. You hear someone sobbing, one of the survivors buckling under the stress. Abelard cuffs the crying officer without even looking. Restore the Vox channel to the Navigator's sanctum. Ready the crew. Prepare for translation to real space. Abelard pauses for a few seconds before turning to you. Laurillar, you may call me superstitious, but translation is not a good time to disregard the rules. You are the only one who speaks for House von Valentius. You may not be the Lord Captain, but you, more than anyone else, deserves to take her place in the ritual that is about to commence. He directs your attention upward to the throne and sits at the apex of a tall staircase. I am ready to begin the ritual. So we are about to save ourselves from being lost eternally in the horrors of the warp, where one's soul and body become one twisting, formless mass spread out through all time and space, if you're lucky. If you're not turned into the plaything of a demon. The image before you is hazy, swaying in sorcerous currents invisible to mortal eyes, as if whatever is beneath the thin shell is constantly changing while remaining the same. It has taken on the guise of Theodora, but the false rogue trader's eyes reveal the entity's true, surreal nature. One of Theodora's eyes is engulfed in otherworldly fire. The other, a vessel of ancient evil, bores into you. A voice seeps directly into your brain without ever reaching your ears, and the voice booms with the horrors of the warp. Mortal, who are you to oppose the very flow of fate? The vision lowers its head, its harrowing gaze boring into you. For but a moment, something changes in Theodora's expression. It almost looks like a shadow of fear? It matters not. Your footfalls are an echo of the sand pouring between the scales. Your hopes and faith are my mockery. You are to blame for Theodora's death. The vision lets out a cawing laugh. I am the beginning and the end and all that courses in between. I am the voice of the truth that is destined to triumph, for this triumph is the terminal point of every twisted maze of fate. Your head begins to spin and viscous drops slither down your cheeks. You blink and you are no longer looking at Theodora. It is the traitor Voitvir, just as fluid and ephemeral as the previous apparition. The same terrifying voice seethes from his lips. The aspirant vowed to return with a trophy, a relic that could serve the edge of daybreak. That fate was assured, and the steps chosen, and yet you broke the unbreakable when you took the aspirant's place. I see you. On the day when the final dawn rises over the Iron World, I see you by my side on that day, on the day of my resurrection. The image is scattered by invisible sorceress winds, and you see Idira, her eyes aglow with the same sinister flame. Your image is woven into the tapestry of things to come. I am the will of the weaver of destinies, and today I will weave a new thread of elusive possibilities and fickle chances. That thread will lead you out of the maw of irreversibility, the thread that will help you find the keys to salvation, the thread that will guide you and the weapon of our return to me. A cavalcade of hazy glimpses of the future, yet unknown, passes before your eyes. A flash of crimson, purple. The images replace one another in a violent kaleidoscope without ever letting you get a proper look at them. Through the rippling mirage, you see a twisted image of Abelard, the loyal seneschal of the dynasty. The path is set, child of dawn. The thread is woven. Follow it, servant of mine. Ravor turns around and looks at you. He hesitates for a few moments, then addresses Abelard, who is standing next to you. Seneschal, the navigator's sanctum is silent. The Vox signal is stable, which means the navigator gave his life battling the storm that nearly claimed the Von Valencia's flagship. We will honor his memory along with that of all who died this day. Ravor does not look away. He is giving you a hard stare, his white brows furrowed. Seneschal, will you tell us now? Who is that? Where's the Lord Captain? It takes time for Abelard to respond. You watch as he grits his teeth, unable to bring himself to say anything. Finally, he adjusts his blood-stained coat, straightens, and begins to speak.
As First Officer, it is my duty to inform you with the greatest regret and indelible sorrow that Lord Captain Theodora von Valancius is dead. May her memory never fade from the annals of the dynasty.
After waiting out the first wave of shocked cries, Abelard glances at you and continues.
By right of blood succession, and with the absence of other kin who could challenge this decision,
It is hereby declared that the successor to Theodora von Valancius is her heir, the rightful inheritor of the warrant of trade, and the title of Rogue Trader. The official ascension ceremony will be held at a later time. In the interim,
Abelard stops short and glares fiercely at the confused officers.
Have you lost your tongues? Hail your lady. It is because of her toils that we all still live.
The seneschal turns to you. He looks at least a half a decade older.
The deed is done, mistress. My apologies. I meant to say, Lord Captain.
All right, so we are now finished the prologue.
The treachery of the Master of Whispers was fruitless, but victory came at a great cost. Lord Captain Theodora von Valancius perished along with her heir, Edelthrad, and thousands of crew members. Yet hope remained, for the second in line to the Rogue Trader dynasty survived, to hang the ancestral banners once again and exact vengeance on the enemies of House von Valancius and humanity.
And with that complete, with our prologue done, we are going to stop here and continue on another day. Thank you for joining me for the prologue to this wonderful game. I do not know how long episodes of this are going to be. I am going to be playing mostly uncut. We're going to be focusing our editing on, you know, just making it fun to watch in a non-cut up way. We're going to play every minute of it, read all the dialogue, and do everything else. If you're interested in that, I hope you continue to join me in the future. Goodbye for now.